In Unit 3, Part 3, we are looking at solving multi-step inequalities. So Part 1 was solving multi-step equations. Part 2 was one-step inequalities. Now we're going to move on to multi-step inequalities. Remember, it's just like solving equations. The only difference is there's an inequality symbol instead of an equal sign. So the first thing we're looking at is actually checking possible solutions, which we've done before. Again, this is where we're going to plug in a number for the variable, see if it works out. So let's look at our first example. We're looking at -1 into this equation right here. So I have 2, and then I'm going to do in parentheses 3 times -1 plus 1, close up those parentheses, greater than or equal to 7 times -1 plus 4. So let's work it out and see if it works. So I'm going to start in the parentheses up here. I have 3 times -1, which is -3 plus 1. Then on the right side, I can go ahead and multiply, so I have -7 plus 4. On the left side, I need to go back and finish up those parentheses, so I get -2. Greater than or equal to, on the right side, I have -3. I can multiply 2 times -2, and I get -4 is greater than or equal to -3. And I read that from left to right. That is not a true statement. -4 is less than 8. Looking at number 2, same thing, except now I'm going to plug in -2 instead of -1. So everywhere I see the x, I plug in -2. I work my parentheses first, so that's -6 plus 1. On the right side, I can go ahead and multiply. Left side, I finish up my parentheses and get -5. On the right side, I can go ahead and add, and I get -10. On the left side, I multiply. So if you read from left to right, I have -10 is greater than or equal to -10. So it is equal to -10. So that's good to go. That works. I'll let you guys go ahead and do numbers 3 and 4. At the bottom of this page, we've got a couple different kinds of inequalities to solve. So 2-step, variables on both sides, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to walk through a couple of these for you. So for the first one, we have -6x plus 15 is greater than 57. First step is always to box and rewrite. Now, if you remember, on a 2-step equation, we're going to add or subtract first and then multiply or divide. So in this case, I have positive 15 with the x, so I need to subtract that from both sides. When I do that, I get -6 is greater than or equal to 42. And now I'm going to divide both sides by -6. That leaves me with x. 42 divided by -6 is -7. Since I'm dividing by negative, I flip the inequality symbol, and that's my answer there. If you look at number 2, again, we're going to start by boxing and rewriting. So I have 22 is greater than x divided by -12 plus 4. We have addition on the side of the variable, so I need to subtract 4 from both sides. 22 minus 4 is 18. And then I have x divided by -12, and those 4's cancel each other out. I'm dividing by -12, which means I need to multiply by -12 to clear it out. -12 times 18 is -216. Those -12's cancel out, so I have x. I'm multiplying by a negative, so I can flip my inequality symbol. Coming down to number 3. Okay, a little bit more work to do on this one. So again, I'm going to start by boxing and rewriting. So I have -3, parentheses 2 minus x is less than or equal to 2x minus 9. Over here on the left side, I need to distribute. -3 times 2 is -6. -3 times -x is positive 3x. Less than or equal to 2x minus 9. I need to move my x's to one side and my numbers to the other. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. So that'll leave me with -6 plus x is less than or equal to -9. Since I moved the x's to the left, the constants go to the right, so I'm going to add 6 to both sides. And I get x is less than or equal to -3. Now, if you notice, I moved the x's to the left, so I didn't have to deal with flipping inequality. On the last one, we're going to start by boxing and rewriting. So I have -x minus 11 divided by 3. It's less than or equal to 21. Okay. Now this one's a little bit backwards because I told you for 2-step equations, we normally add or subtract first. Because there's a negative in front of the x, this is actually a 3-step equation, not a 2-step equation. So the first thing you're going to do is clear out this denominator by multiplying both sides by 3. So that cancels. We have negative x minus 11 is less than or equal to 63. I'm going to let you solve number 4 from there. On the back side of these notes, you start with a perimeter problem. So it says, for what value of x is the perimeter of the rectangle shown greater than 50 units? So just to remind you, perimeter of a rectangle is 2w plus 2l. So if you look at our example, 2 times the width, which is 2x plus 7, plus 2 times the length, which is 4. And then we're saying, for what value is it greater than 50? So I have a greater sign than 50. And I'm going to let you guys solve that out from there. So you guys finish up that perimeter problem. For the next one, we have a word problem. It says you are designing greeting cards on your computer to raise money for a charity. You buy card stock at a cost of 50 cents per card and run a table at the fundraiser for $20. You will sell the cards in sets of 12 for $10.20. How many sets of cards do you have to sell in order to make more money than what you spent? Okay. So for this, there's 2 separate things. We have our cost, okay, and then we're gonna how much money we made or income. Okay. So the cost is 50 cents per card. So I'm gonna put 0.50 C. So 50 cents per card, plus you get to pay $20 for the table. So that's the left side. My income is that I get $10.20 per set of cards. Okay, so I'm going to put C right there. Okay, now I need to figure out, I want to know how much I have to sell for my income or how much I get to be bigger. So I'm going to set this towards the income because I want the income to be bigger. I'll let you guys solve that one from there. Okay, and then at the bottom you have review problems, which of course are always up to you to do on your own. Just make sure you check them with the answer. All right, that's it for Unit 3.